Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Explicitly Unbiased. Today, it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to not go over every single game in Week 17, but we'll go over a lot of the highlights, some playoff position being jockeyed out. We've got teams fighting over the number one overall pick. Somebody's got to win or lose that, depending on how you see it. And we'll do our picks for the last week of the year. Obviously, Michigan has decided on their next head coach for 2026. We'll talk about that a little bit and obviously get into our picks for round 2 of the CFB playoffs. A lot to get to. Let's try and make it quick. Let's go ahead, hit the intro, get started. And joining me as usual is Gerardo. Gerardo, how are you on this fine Monday evening?
Pretty happy if I'm a Raiders fan. Pretty upset if I'm a Giants fan.
Giants fans haven't been happy in a long time. We can start with that. Obviously, the Tank Bowl occurred this weekend with the Raiders and the Giants. I believe that was on Sunday afternoon. It was. The Giants win 34-10. Jackson Dart, 22 of 30, 207. No touchdowns, no picks. He also had 2 rushing touchdowns on the ground. Devin Singletary joins him as well. As far as the Raiders, they're kind of just doing Raider things. Geno Smith, 28, 176, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Ashton Jeanty, 60 yards on the ground. Michael Mayer having a career day, probably 9 catches, 89 yards. And obviously some drama with this. So the teams were going back and forth, benching their best players. And it all kind of came to a point with Max Crosby being shut down for the year, requiring what was, I believe, season-ending knee surgery to get him prepared for 2026. To the untrained eye, that to me says that he's not going to be a Raider next year.
No.
But yeah, the Raiders take command of the number 1 overall pick heading into Week 18. They play the Chiefs. Your immediate reaction.
Clearly that this Raiders are looking for long-term into this offseason. I fully believe that, Max Crosby is getting traded this offseason. We talked about it a lot that he should have been traded at the trade deadline to a team like the Patriots, to the team like even the Lions back then, or like the Seahawks as well, too. I think you could have gotten, he would have been unbelievably productive for those now Super Bowl chasing teams. I think the Raiders are going full long-term rebuild on this. That means because he's going to be turning 29 or is 29. So meaning by the time they become relevant, he's probably going to be past his prime or into his...
He'll be 29 in August.
So that means he'll be in his 30s by the time the Raiders even try to be relevant at that point. So you might as well sell him while it's still a hot commodity, while you still have him on a relatively decent contract. And that means the Raiders offseason, they are more than likely not going to be going after a guy like Kyler Murray. They're more than likely are not going to be doing any sort of quick fixes around the program. I think that's kind of, if you're trading Max Crosby, you're not doing any of those moves. You would keep Max Crosby if you're getting Kyler Murray, I think.
What about the Giants? Obviously, they win this game. They have the quarterback of the future. They have a wide receiver that they can look forward to coming back next year.
Mm-hmm.
Torn ACLs are not what they were 10 years ago. Malik Neighbors is all in likelihood going to be fine. And they have a promising running back in Scadaboo. They have a promising running back in Tyron Tracy. They have a core that they can kind of build on. Is it more important for them to lose this game, or is there value in getting Jackson Dart more comfortable, getting him some momentum to close the year?
I would say because of the draft class, it's not a bad game to lose. Hell, they could have been picking 1 through 10 is not really that big of a difference in this draft class. And quite honestly with you, it's no elite level prospects have shown themselves. And Jackson Dart has this game solidified that you're not drafting Fernando Mendoza, nor should you. I think he fully solidified that he is a better quarterback now than any draft prospect in this draft class. So getting the number 1 overall pick for the Raiders, who could get a Fernando Mendoza because they have no future at quarterback, whereas the Giants, it's okay, but we have so many other holes, and even if we wanted to move on from Jackson Dart, he's no better than a 3rd-round pick. So what assets are we really acquiring from that? I think it's just a good showing for the Giants, and I think it really just comes down to their head coaching hire. I think you're looking at a guy like the Packers defensive coordinator. I mean, I really would love the Brian Flores for the Giants. That would be absolutely sick for them. Another weird shout out because like they're really trying to supposedly get like a really like stable dude, Mike McCarthy, going to the Giants. And I don't think that's a bad idea neither because he's been successful in both franchises he's been a part of. And he's had very great offenses, and he provides a lot of stability when he's there. He doesn't provide any controversy. He doesn't butt heads with management, and he's just a stable dude. So I think for the Giants, it's been a wrap. Honestly, like, yes, you've lost a lot of games, but look at the amount of one-score games they lost without their number one wide receiver. And fun fact, I believe that Wan'Dale Robinson becomes one of the shortest players since Wes Welker to have over 1,000 yards receiving.
That wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, I think he's 5'8", and I think it's since Wes Welker had 1,000 yards receiving, it's been that long since a 5'8" wide receiver had over 1,000 yards receiving. So you have pieces in place. It really just comes down to the draft picks. Is defensively front seven, they're solid. You have no reason to be drafting there. Their back seven, maybe you could do with an upgrade, and like, they don't have a true shutdown corner yet, but I think it's offensive line. Just protect your assets, especially with Jackson Dart being in and out of injuries this year and his somewhat reckless play style at times. I just think solidify that offensive line and you will be golden. That's a potential 9 to 11 win season for them next year. Seriously.
Going to the AFC, we had a division, not a division, one of the last kind of spots jockeying for AFC playoff picture standings. The Texans and the Chargers. Chargers win. They still have a shot at the AFC West. If they lose, they're kind of just at the mercy of other teams where they land. It does not go the Chargers' way. They lose 20-16 to the Houston Texans. CJ Stroud 16 and 28, 244, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Woody Marks 71 yards on the ground. Justin Herbert 21 to 32, 236, a touchdown and a pick. Omarion Hampton 14 carries, 29 yards, and a touchdown. Was not their leading rusher. It was Justin Herbert. Quentin Johnston 5 catches, 98 yards. Oronde Gadsden Jr. I think he's a junior. 3 receptions, 32 yards, and a touchdown. Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel with touchdowns for the Texans. Texans win 20-16. They're 11-5. Is the division wrapped up for Jacksonville?
I believe no. It's the final game of the season.
Okay. Well, I believe Jacksonville has Tennessee, and Houston has
I believe
has Indianapolis. Is that true? It is. Okay. So I'd say the division all more than likely wrapped up, given crazy things don't happen. But, yeah, Houston once again shows off their legit defense with an offense that, is kind of uninspiring. And the Chargers just show their desperate need for health. You can kind of take this one wherever you want to go with it.
So with the defensive pressures against because it's an avalanche game. You had a team with unbelievably bad injured offensive line with almost probably going to be the most underrated defense in NFL history with the Texans. Justin Herbert was pressured over 20 times this game. The last time a quarterback in the NFL was pressured over 20 times in a game, Justin Herbert in 2022. This has been a continual issue with the Chargers. It's not only do they, because their 2 best tackles are out for the year, right? Joe Alt is gone. Rashawn Slater is gone. And like they've been devastated through injuries. Like it really has sucked for them because they made the investment into offensive line. It's just Justin Herbert's been getting banged up. And on top of that, it's also the lack of elite playmaking as well, too, on any of his offensive weapons. Because despite the hot start from the Houston Texans, like CJ Stroud is still a suspect at quarterback. Like that offense is not humming in the slightest, despite having 2 deep shots in that game. He still threw 2 interceptions in this game. And the game still went down to the wire. So still playing uninspired football for the Texans. It's like I think a legitimate concern when you're going against like all the rest of these teams in the AFC, maybe outside of whoever wins the AFC North, because I think the Texans could beat both of those teams. The Texans, if they're at home, can beat the Bills. The Texans proved they could beat the Chargers. Now it gets tricky where it's like the Texans against the Broncos. Now, granted, they did beat the Broncos at home. At Mile High, it would be a different story. The Texans for the Patriots. I think the Patriots, quarterback-wise, like offensively, I think, the Texans' defense may bend, not break, but you bend too much, you give up way too many points. Is CJ Stroud going to be able to play catch it with Drake May? No, that's not happening at all. And all the Patriots have to do is have 1 to 3 defensive stops in a game against the Texans, and they will be golden, which they easily can do that. So I think for both the Texans and Chargers, I would be surprised more if the Chargers win one game this playoffs. I think the Texans at best is winning a game, and then that's it. They're going to get the first round match, depending on who the matchup is. But these are 2 teams that I don't think are true Super Bowl contenders.
No, I would agree. The Chargers, I think, could be if they had 2 tackles worth a damn. But
it's the unfortunate part for them is that part. It's the fact that they do. It's just they're not healthy.
Give it till next year, but we'll see how that plays out. All right, so 2 NFC West teams made sure that their game this weekend is going to be for all the marbles, so much so that they put it on primetime on Saturday. Let's get into that. The Seahawks beat the Panthers. Stand by as I pull up the score.
It's a 27 to 14.
What day did they play?
Yesterday.
Yeah, okay, 27-10. Yep, I see it.
Okay, 10.
Seattle wins. Darnold 18 to 27, 147 touchdown and a pick. Zach Charbonnet 18 carries, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns. Bryce Young 14 to 24, 54 yards and a pick. He also had a rushing touchdown.
What a shot.
The Seahawks, they go 13-3. The Panthers, we'll talk about in a minute. Actually, yeah, we can get into them as well because they have a big matchup for the NFC South that's going to go out on Saturday as well.
That game's on ESPN. ESPN really lucked up on getting those 2 games.
And then on Sunday Night Football, we had an instant classic between the Niners and the Bears. Niners win 42-38. Brock Purdy, 24 of 33, 303, 3 touchdowns and a pick. CMC has 140 yards and a touchdown. Brock Purdy has 2 rushing touchdowns, 5 TDs for the big fella. Ricky Pearsall was the Niners' leading receiver with 85 yards. Tongas and Juwan Jennings and Kyle Juszczyk all checking in for touchdowns. Caleb Williams, 25, 42, 330, 2 touchdowns. DeAndre Swift, 2 touchdowns as well. Luther Burden, Colson Loveland getting the scores through the air for Caleb Williams. The Bears fall to 11-5, but the division's all wrapped up. They're going to be at one of the higher end seeds in the NFC. And the Niners control their own destiny. They win in Seattle on Saturday night, and they are the number 1 seed. If Seattle wins, they are the number 1 seed. The Panthers, they go back to Tampa next week to play for the NFC South, which is a little complicated because the Falcons won tonight. And if the Falcons win against the Saints, the Panthers get in no matter what. So kind of, it's not necessarily a win and end situation. But if you're the Panthers, you want to take business into your own hands and win that one. So I gave you a lot of ways to go with this one. Where do you want to kind of take it?
So I'll start off with the NFC West because to me, I think there's 3 teams in that division. Now, granted, we saw one lose literally today, and we'll get to probably that one as well too in this discussion. The Seahawks are still my favorite team to watch. They're the funnest team to me in the NFL as a whole. And they are the most dangerous team at home. If they have more to lose against the 49ers, One, Sam Darnold proving himself. He already did against the Rams this year, but I think he really beat San Francisco this year to maintain the number 1 overall seed. I think Sam Darnold is now moving towards of getting that monkey fully off his back that he can step up in big games. And Seattle having the number 1 overall seed and having home field advantage throughout this playoffs, their defense is playing unbelievably hot with their ears pinned behind their backs. JSN is like damn near on an offensive MVP level. Sam Darnold is humming. They have their offense is looking great. They're a team that I would not want to face at all in the playoffs, especially them having home field advantage. On the opposite end of that, we have the 49ers. Now, 49ers defense is unbelievably suspect. With losing Warner for the year, for their lack of Nick Bosa as well, too, for them letting go Buckner and Armstead throughout the years. They have yet to replace any of those holes. Their back seven is unbelievably suspect as well, too. Like, if it took a Brock Purdy essentially MVP-like game to have 5 total touchdowns for them to be in the game against the Bears. And give credit where credit is due. The Bears completely flipped from worst to first instantly. And Caleb Williams has been absolutely humming on that. But they're not, I wouldn't consider them that big of a threat in the NFC as a whole like that. And if you're giving up what they give 38 points to the Bears, that's a lot of points. You know what I mean? And especially with their lack of elite level talent, because when the 49ers are going to be going against the Rams, who have Adams and Nakua, when the Seahawks have JSN, if you can't cover Luther Burden, I know, or Loveland, and granted, they're both young and unbelievably talented. When you're facing against real dudes out there who have legitimately proved in this league and emerging, I know I wouldn't trust that defense to save my life. So I think the 49ers probably are playing a lot more at stake to winning this game, because playing at Seattle having home field advantage is a wash for the NFC. I would not want to play them at all. And then if we get into the NFC South side of things, this is Panthers MO all year, man. Play one good game, play one bad game. Play one good game, play one bad game. They've only had one back-to-back week win, and that was week 6 and week 7, I believe. They only did that one time this year. So they're just off and on, off and on, off and on all year long. Bryce Young looks great. He looks like the number 1 overall pick. Bryce Young looks like the worst draft pick of all time. Their offense looks great and young. Their offense looks unbelievably bad and young. It's a team that low-key does not matter. Either one of the whatever NFC South team you could put in there. And the funny part is the best NFC South team is not going to be in the playoffs right now, and that's going to be the Saints, who've been on an unbelievable tear lately. And I just think ever since Baker got hurt, it's Tampa Bay has thrown this division away. And you saw that again with the Dolphins. When they played against the Dolphins, Baker Mayfield is just straight up not himself. He was, I think 2 interceptions that game?
Yes, 33 of 44, 346, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. And no run game to speak of. Bucky Irving had 9 carries for 19.
Clearly, but bro, if you're throwing that many times, I know you're not tossing the rock at all.
Jalen McMillan was the leading receiver, 7 catches, 114 yards. Chris Godwin with 108 and a touchdown as well.
Mm-hmm. It's whatever team in the NFC South goes to the playoffs, they're just the team that is going to get bounced out by much better competition.
By the Rams or the Niners or the Seahawks.
By the Rams, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Those 3, the Eagles, hell, I would even say the Cowboys, even if they were they would lose to them too if they were a playoff team. The NFC South as a whole, me and you said it, it's the worst division probably in all of football by a mile. I think the AFC South this year kind of at least rose up a little bit with the Jaguars and Texans looking a little bit more relevant. Same with the Colts. But I think the Seahawks just have so much on the line to win. And especially with the Rams losing now too, and showing that they have a little bit of a, but that's also with no Devontae Adams. So I don't know truly if they were hey, we're in the playoffs. And especially for this Rams team, I still think they're a very dangerous team to face. But if the Seahawks wrap up that number 1 seed, I would say watch out for the NFC as a whole. I think they're a very dangerous team.
All right, let's get into some of the stuff going on in the AFC North. The Cleveland Browns beat the Steelers 16-3. Was this something like that?
Yeah, no, 13 to 6.
13-6. Yeah. Just ugly. Aaron Rodgers 21-39, 168, Jalen 164 yards. Shedeur Sanders 17-23, 186, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Dylan Sampson 27 yards. Just a classic, gross AFC North fight between the Browns and the Steelers, and the Browns come out on top by slopping it up. They beat the Steelers at their own game, and I believe it was on Saturday night.
No, it was yesterday. They played yesterday.
No, I mean Baltimore and
Baltimore and Green Bay. Yes.
Yeah, that was Saturday night. Baltimore beats Green Bay 41-24 on the back of Derrick Henry's 4 touchdowns and 216 yards. Which makes this battle for the AFC North a thing on Sunday Night Football. It brings all the aura, all the vibes of those early 2010s, late 2000s battles between the Steelers and the Ravens for that title. And you know what I'm talking about. Week 18, Sunday Night Football, Palomalu, Ed Reed, Ben Flacco, the whole 9 yards. The video package is going to be the sexiest part about this game because the football game is going to be gross.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah, AFC North on the line. What do you think?
So the big thing is if the Browns solely played home games, they would probably be a top 5, top 10 team in the league. Playing them at home is the worst thing ever for any team. They have been unbelievably dangerous at home. Also, Myles Garrett still 1 more game away. He has 1 game left to break the record. He did not have a single sack against the Steelers.
The Bengals will give him 1.
Probably so, because Joe Burrow's a sitting duck with that offensive line. But for this game, whatever coach loses is getting fired. That's my hot take. Whatever coach doesn't win this game and get to the playoffs is getting fired on that, what they call it, Black Monday, right? Where it's like that. Yeah. And I think fully that's going to be it. I think Mike Tomlin or Harbaugh is gone after this game. I think they're both mishandlings throughout the season. The investment on the Steelers side, the most expensive defense of all time in NFL history to look like that. For Harbaugh, for the lack of communication he's had with Lamar Jackson all year long, the on and off use of Derrick Henry, like in the unbelievably historic start to their defense. Their defense was like one of the, if it wasn't for the Cowboys, it would be talked about as the worst defense of all time in NFL history, which is very un-Ravens-like. So I think whatever coach does not win this is getting fired. And I think this game's a toss-up. Lamar Jackson, I'm assuming
they gave the Ravens -1.5.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a pick 'em by the day. Same if whether DK Metcalf was there or not, I still think it's a pick 'em. Because he's been unbelievably inconsistent throughout the year. Him being suspended is the same of him playing. Like it's no real true difference like that. If I were to choose, gun to my head, I'm probably going to take
for picks if you want.
Oh yeah. But I just think that whatever team doesn't win is the coach getting fired. Like and that team's going to go into a new direction into 2026.
But that video package on Saturday Night Football is going to be great.
First of all, you're going to get Hines Ward. You're going to be getting like Balso Hard University, Terrell Suggs on there.
Ray Lewis.
Unbelievably underrated Haloti Ngata on that package too. What else on the Steelers side? I mean, you're going to get like all Woody. He played at Michigan, number 46. 56. And then you also have Porter, who's still there. Battis, yeah. You're gonna have like all Heath Miller, Santonio Hall, Anquan Bolden. It was there's a video on YouTube if anybody wants to go check it out. It's like the day the NFL had like 20-some Pro Bowlers on one field. And it was a Steelers and Ravens matchup game. And it was like the most ever Pro Bowlers and all pros in one game. And it was them playing. And like growing up, like from probably 2005 all the way to what you would say like 2017.
2017, 2018, when Ben started to go.
Yeah, like those games were like straight up like
Can't
absolute
miss.
NFL cinema. NFL cinema. Something crazy was going to happen that game.
I mean,
Somebody
you even got old man Mike Vick in one of those classics.
not only that, you knew somebody was going to get hit. Like, I feel like that was the one game that like the NFL was like, refs, don't worry about really reffing this game. Somebody needs to be in concussion protocol by the end of this game. Like, and those games have been absolutely killer. So I can't wait for that one because it's literally all on the line. You couldn't have the stakes could not be any higher.
It's gonna be ugly as hell, but somebody will appreciate it.
And AFC North football, baby, that's what it's gonna be.
All right, let's talk about this AFC East. Finally got a conclusion to that. The Patriots beat the Jets 42-10 Sunday afternoon. They get to 13 wins. Shout out to them, going from like they're gonna at minimum flip the script on their record from last year. Drake May 256 yards and 5 touchdowns on 256 yards, 19-21. Trayvon Henderson 19 carries, 82 yards. Ramondre Stevenson 8 for 47 and 1. Also had a receiving touchdown. Stephon Diggs 6 for 101 and 1. Efton Chisholm gets a touchdown. Hunter Henry gets a touchdown. Austin Hooper gets a touchdown. And nothing really to speak of for the Jets. 42-10. That's your final.
Unbelievably bad.
And as the Patriots are taking the bus back home to Foxborough, there's a big game going on between the Eagles and the Bills. Bills win this. They're still alive. They blow it. 13-12. Eagles win in Buffalo. Jalen Hurts 13-27, 110, and 1 touchdown. Did not complete a pass in the second half, I want to say. Saquon Barkley 19-68. AJ Brown 5 for 68. Dallas Goedert with the touchdown. Josh Allen 23-35, 262, no touchdowns, no picks. James Cook 74 yards. Josh Allen 2 rushing touchdowns. Brandon Cooks 4 for 101. Did the Bills get a touchdown at the end of the game and like damn near end of regulation, and they go for 2 instead of punting it, or go for 2 instead of the PAT when they hadn't given up a scoring drive the entire second half. I don't think. Yeah, they didn't score a point in the second half. The Eagles. So the Bills opt to go for 2 to try to end the game, and Josh Allen whiffs, and they lose 13-12. The Patriots wrap up the AFC. It's the first time they've won it since 2019. First time they'll host a playoff game since 2019. Gotta be happy for a Patriots fan. If you're a Bills fan, you gotta be feeling pretty down about yourself, being in a Tom Brady-less AFC East for 5 years and not being able to capitalize on a single thing.
Yeah, the biggest thing, the takeaway from this Bills are its two biggest issues in Bills since the Josh Allen era: coaching decisions in important parts of the game, lack of weapons. Those two things have bit this Bills franchise in the ass. Josh Allen has saved McDermott's career as a coach more oftentimes than not so far. I think that if they had a coach that was a little bit better in those situations, like if Mark McCarthy was on the Bills, kick the fucking field goal, take the points. Our defense has been humming all game. Hurts is not going to beat us. Let's go into overtime. I have seen Josh Allen will this team to win in overtime many a times. Let's play it that way than a 2-point conversion. And what a shock, Josh Allen. It's not like that he whiffed it. It goes, what a shock that the lack of elite pass catchers on their team is not open enough or not good enough to go get
well, on the 2-point conversion, he did miss him by like 2 feet.
He did, yeah, but I mean, like, it's just ultimately, why is he in this position? You have no pass catchers on your team. Brandon Cooks, you picked off the street, which is, me and you talked about it. Oh, we can't get Jalen Waddle. Oh, let's just go get Brandon Cooks. Yeah, that fixes our receiver problem. Stop it. Like, Bills, if you want to piss away another Hall of Fame level quarterback and to piss away the opportunity that, Tom Brady wasn't in our division. We could easily wrap this up. The Dolphins weren't really significant unless that 1 year. The Jets haven't been significant since ever.
Rex Ryan.
Yeah. Like, so you're going to look back at this era and notice how bad coaching decisions in important moments and lack of weapons have really pissed away your career. And if they do not go into this offseason fixing one of those issues, if not both, you are going to be nothing but the bridesmaid to Drake May's career. And I couldn't be any more disappointed in this Bills team because me and you talked about it when they started off this season. They were unbelievably hot. They were like humming. Like we were like, bro, who's going to beat this team? This team's like stupid good. They don't need any weapons like that. If they got a true weapon, it'd be nice and stuff like that. If they don't go into this offseason and get Jalen Waddle, or go get A.J. Brown, or fire their coach and go get a guy like Brian Flores, go get a guy like Mike McCarthy, you go get guys that are just like, I just need you to take care of simple shit. How do you not take that field goal, Caleb? How do you not take that field goal? In that game where they're like, okay, well, Eagles defense has yet to score in over 30 minutes on this field. Yeah, we're going to go for 2 because we're afraid that Jalen Hurts, who's been unbelievably bad this season, and to Jalen Hurts standards that what we're at times used to, and also he's not anywhere been clutch at all this year, we're going to take 2 points because we're afraid if the Eagles get the ball, we're going to lose this game. Like, no. That was Sean McDermott should be fired because of that decision alone. Like Josh Allen has saved that man's career many a times. I think I've gone to that conclusion. It was kind of how I felt about Sam Darnold with Clay Helton at USC. It was like the only reason why this dude's employed is because of his quarterback. And the moment his quarterback went to the NFL, the dude got fired. And it's like, I feel like the only reason why McDermott is a coach for the Bills is because Josh Allen is a Hall of Fame quarterback, not because he's good.
Any thoughts on the Patriots winning the AFC East?
I mean, solid prediction by my point in the beginning of the year. Absolutely loved it.
Even outdid your prediction.
Yes. I mean, they absolutely stacked. The only thing that I would say for this Patriots team, man, if you go get a guy like Max Crosby in the offseason, go get a A.J. Brown, go get a Jalen Waddle, bro. I'm this AFC East is done. I don't fuck the Bills at that point. Like, seriously, you got your coach, you got your quarterback, done.
You got your offensive coordinator.
Yeah, done. You have stability in the right places. Hunter Henry has been a stud this back half of the season. You're getting a lot more consistency from Diggs as well, too. That was I did have a little bit of a problem with that, like kind of in the beginning of the year. Like he was very off and on.
After that second Bills game, it was like his worst game of the year. And I feel like he got sat down and it was, dude, we need you to be better if we're going to do something this year.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about the
beat the shit out of the Ravens and he beat the shit out of the Jets.
Yeah, he's like, I don't give a shit about that pink dust. I don't care who you're dating. I don't care how many baby mamas you got. You win us a Super Bowl this year. You do whatever you want. Like, I truly think that's what probably Mike Vrabel's saying to him. You get us a Super Bowl this year? Done. Don't care. Like, and I just think that they have handled their young quarterback so far in the right way. Whereas you look at the Bills and it's like, oh, we had Stephon Diggs when we were getting into Josh Allen's prime. And guess what we're going to do with Stephon Diggs? Oh, I'll see you later, bro. We don't want to take care of you. We're going to be cheap. And then on top of that, they were too busy trying to outsmart the market. When they got rid of Diggs, they thought that they could just draft a receiver. And what did they do all those years? They treated Josh Allen like Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. We're not going to use a first-round pick on a wide receiver. That's just dumb. And then, we're going to be able to pick up through free agency. Oh, Josh Allen's going to elevate these bums into somehow 1,000-yard receivers. Like, listen, I like Shakir. I think he's a solid 3. No way he should be a 1. No way in a 1. Same thing with Palmer. Palmer was ass with the Chargers. I don't know why he's even on this team. Cooks was, listen, if you got like Saints Cook, even if you got Patriots Cook, I'd be okay with this move. Rams Cook too.
I'd be okay with Rams Cook.
But like this one, like no. Like what are you doing? Bills, like you're thinking you're smarter than everybody, but yet you have no Super Bowl ring to show for it. That makes no
Super
sense.
Bowl appearance to show for it.
Exactly. Caleb, look, I'm okay with them telling me, hey, I know what I'm doing because I have street cred. And I'm like, bro, well, have you been to a Super Bowl with this plan? No. I'm okay with the Chiefs doing this shit because they proved to me that they can with an elite receiver and without an elite receiver. You know? But I just think the Bills are trying to outsmart everybody and slowly becoming the biggest idiots in the NFL.
But shout out to New England.
Hell yeah. Good for the Pats, bro. It's just so nice to see a franchise treat a young quarterback right.
Oh,
And
and even like just admitting their mistake.
mm-hmm.
Year one, like it would have been so easy for Robert Kraft to just say, "Hey, year one, his first year, no experience. Like give the guy a break."
Yep.
And we would have all had to kind of taken it. It would have been so easy for Kraft to do that, but he didn't. So,
nope. Exactly. Like I love accountability. He held his quarterback to the standard. They have a standard in New England. Those Super Bowls didn't win themselves. There's a standard. Just because Tom Brady ain't there doesn't mean the standard is gone. Doesn't mean Bill Belichick ain't there. Don't mean the standard is gone. Winning is still winning. So what do? Okay. Made a mistake with Gerard Mayo. Bye. Okay. Let's get him a stable offensive coordinator and let's get him a guy who's really, like, literally willing to chop off his dick to win a Super Bowl. So there we go. Okay. Now I'm set. I got my young quarterback. I'm treating him right because Caleb, the biggest storyline going into this offseason is, with the resurgence of teams taking care of bad young quarterbacks, why not just throw them to the Vikings? They'll fix everything. Like, no. How about you franchises know how to take care of your prized possessions? Like, I just don't understand this notion that the Vikings are going to fix everything, Caleb. You see Zach Wilson? He's going to be taken care of by the Vikings. You know, same thing with Anthony Richardson. Oh, my God. Him on the Vikings would be insane. Bro, how about you just draft right, set your players up for success and, put and hold yourself accountable. Like, do everything the Jets don't do. You know what I mean?
All right. Let's do our week 18 picks. Last week, I win 11-16. We sucked against the spread.
Oh, what a shot.
I went 6 for 16. You went 5 for 16.
Alrighty.
But you went 9 for 16 on the head-to-head. So I am on a 2-week win streak. I've won 3 of the last 6, 4 of the last 7. We'll see what the end of year total comes out to be. But we got one more week to go before we get to that. So let's get into it. Opening us up on Saturday afternoon, Carolina at Tampa for the NFC South. Tampa -2.5. I'll go first. I'll take Carolina.
Give me Carolina. One bad game, one good game, baby.
Okay. God damn it. Stupid fucking keyboard. Okay. Saturday night, Seattle at San Francisco. Seattle -1.5.
Give me Seattle both ways.
It's gonna be close. Does Sam Darnold have it in him to get that monkey off his back and win a big time Week 18 game on the road against a familiar foe who's playing really well on offense anyway? I'll bet on the guy. Give me the Seahawks.
Now, the 49ers started Mac Jones. I'd be doing 49ers.
New Orleans at Atlanta. Atlanta wins. Carolina is in, even if they lose. But Atlanta's 3-point favorites. I'm taking New Orleans.
New Orleans, they've been humming lately. They've been playing really well, which is really dumb because that team's really bad. Like they are a 2-win team somehow.
But they might have their quarterback of the future.
Potentially, that is true.
He's at least earned next year. Cleveland at Cincinnati. Cincinnati -7.5.
Cincy to win, Cleveland to cover.
I'll take Cleveland both ways. Just think Joe Burrow's going to get his ass kicked one more week.
Mm-hmm.
Green Bay at Minnesota. Judging by this line, I'm going to assume that Green Bay is resting starters. Let me just make sure I read it right before we continue. Yes, I did. Okay, so I'm judging from this. I think that Green Bay is resting starters. Minnesota -6.5.
Give me Green Bay to win.
I'll take Minnesota to beat Green Bay's backups. Both ways. Dallas at the Giants. Dallas -4.5.
Dallas both ways. No, never mind. It's the Giants. They're going to keep it within a one-score game. So I'm going to go Dallas to win, Giants cover.
I'll go Dallas both ways. Tennessee at Jacksonville. Jacksonville -12.5.
Oh, Jesus. Jacksonville to win, Tennessee to cover. It's a lot.
I feel like Tennessee is starting to hit a stride. Too little, too late, obviously, but I feel like they're starting to keep games close. So I will go with you. Jacksonville to win, Tennessee to cover. Indianapolis at Houston. Houston -10. I'll take Houston to win, Indy to cover.
Yeah, same. That's a lot of points for that bad offense. You're just hoping that the Texans' defense is that damn good.
Jets at Buffalo. Buffalo -7. They get a smaller spread than the Patriots last week. Taking Buffalo both ways. The Jets suck.
Yeah.
They're gonna get smoked.
Yeah, give me Josh Allen pissed off.
I don't care if Josh Allen's playing. Whoever their backup is.
Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, Trubisky is going to go for 5 touchdowns on these guys. For
most underrated 4,000-yard passer of all time.
Detroit at Chicago. Chicago -2.5.
Give me Chicago both ways.
They already got the division wrapped up. I don't know if they have much to play for. I wouldn't be shocked if it comes out that they bench starters. And Detroit is a sucker for these stupid moral ring wins. Give me Detroit.
Yeah, they have a winning season. Boo-hoo. Yeah, you're right on that. I'll probably do Detroit both ways, too, on that.
You're changing it up?
Yeah, Detroit both ways on that. They'll win a dumb game like this.
Chargers at Denver. Chargers have said they're resting Justin Herbert. They're going to rest starters. Denver still has the number 1 seed to play for, and they're 12.5-point favorites.
Broncos to Denver to win, Chargers cover.
I hope they win. I hope Chargers win with Trey Lance, but don't think that's possible. Arizona at the Rams. Rams -9.5.
Rams both ways.
Yeah, I don't
think that Cardinals game against them. And the Bengals defense sucks, and the Cardinals look that bad offensively.
Miami at New England. 4:25 kickoff, because just to annoy me. New England -11.5. I'll take New England to win, Miami to cover.
Yep, Miami to cover, New England to win.
I feel like Miami's just way too frisky for their own good.
Quinn Ewers, man. Quinn Ewers is the dog right now.
Washington at Philly. Philly -7.5. I'll take Philly both ways.
Give me Washington both ways.
Any particular reason?
Philly has just not looked good at all, like, to me. And also that 0 points in the second half against the Bills is just pretty bad.
Kansas City at Vegas.
Oh, God.
Kansas City -5.5.
Raiders somehow win this dumb game. Raiders both ways.
I'll take KC. I'll take KC to win, Raiders to cover. And finally, on Sunday Night Football, for all the marbles, give me a score. Baltimore at Pittsburgh. Baltimore -3.5.
Give me Pittsburgh both ways. And I want. Give me like a Chris Boswell game-winning field goal. We're going to go with 22-20. 42 total.
22-20, 42. I'm going to go 17-13. Steelers win. 17-13, 4 points. Yeah, okay. That'll do it for picks. All right, let's get into a little bit of college football before we get out of here. So if Michigan fans were asking for Kenny Dillingham for Christmas,
Mhm.
Santa's a little hard of hearing. He thought they said Kyle Whittingham, who ends up being the new head coach of Michigan. He signs like a 5-year deal,
Insane.
something like that. 66
Yeah.
years old, shouldn't be a problem. He leaves Utah to go join the Wolverines. And when asked about the biggest rivalry in college football, hey, do you not like Ohio State? And he goes, I guess I don't.
Yeah,
Just
because he's just the most, I just show up for my job and I just get things done. I don't give a shit about all this other stuff. Like, that's his attitude. He is very much the West Coast version, or like the southern version of Kirk Ferentz at Iowa. He is going to play solid, fundamental football in all three aspects of the game. He is going to get underdogs to overperform big time at this program. I don't know how he's ever done with like major recruits, because Utah doesn't really recruit like that. But he's just going to be like, I show up for my job, I did my job, and that's it. I'm going to give you 9 solid wins each and every year. We may sneak up on people. And this also comes with him supposedly retiring from Utah. He didn't leave, like he wasn't at Utah. He retired, took a step away from it. And then all of a sudden Michigan came a call and he's like, huh? You want me to coach y'all? Y'all know like y'all are a good program. I'm just a coach. Like, I feel like 100% that's the conversation they had. Like, he's like, hey, honey, I'm getting this from Michigan. All right. Hello? Hey, this is such, I don't know who their fucking program director is over there. For all I give a shit, it's Tom Brady. You want to be the next head coach? As long as you don't fuck with butter knives and like don't sleep, like, bro. Excuse me, you want me to coach Michigan? I just retired from Utah. Like, I kind of didn't want to coach. We'll give you 5 years. How much is it?
like 7.5 million, something like that.
Exactly. That's what he like. That's what I'm saying. Like, he literally was like, all right, hey, you're the new Michigan head coach. What do you think? What do you think about Ohio State? Right? You hate Ohio State?
I guess so.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, yeah, fuck them. Like, in a weird way, what a somehow Michigan has fallen up in a coaching ladder, like in a coaching hire. I would have never considered him to be a Michigan guy because I fully thought he was retired. I think they gave him an offer that he couldn't refuse, and that's why it's 5 years. And he's just a stable head coach. You're getting 9 solid wins a year, minimum. And he's going to make a lot of underrated guys step up. It's going to be an interesting fact to see what he does with top tier talent now at his disposal. Underwood has been praising him big time since the hire, which is a very good sign for them to keep their young freshmen on there. But outside of that, I think you couldn't have, unless they signed Bobby Petrino, but this couldn't be any bigger. Like, this is a solid win for Michigan. You get rid of Sharon Moore, who is nothing but an off the field head case and rather text OF models than coach a game, literally during a game. And you get a guy who's like unbelievably stable in every aspect of his life and is just a chill, normal ass head coach. Like, he is to me like a Mike McCarthy. He is like a Kirk Ferentz. He is just a dude who is going to get, he's going to good fundamental coaching across the board. And he's not going to get overly too excited. And the only like time you'll see him animated is probably because a ref missed a bad call. And outside of that, he's not going to be this rah dude. He is not going to come up with some shitty slogan or nothing like that for his team. It's just going to be like, hey, go out there and win, man. I coached all y'all to win, so just win. Like, I beat Ohio State, bro. I don't give a shit. Like, that's really him. So good for them. Seriously, good hire for them. I cannot hate on that. He's a very good coach. And I mean, he's overperformed at Utah for many of years. He's been underrated his whole life out there with Utah. I mean, look at the Utah squad this year. Nobody really projected them to do that well at all this year. And they were in the mix of things at the end of the year. So,
yeah,
I think it's a solid hire. Good for them.
And let's get into round 2 of the college football playoff. It's going down on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Let's start with the New Year's Eve game. Number 10 Miami versus number 2 Ohio State in the Sugar Bowl. Ohio State is I believe, 10.5 point favorite, 9.5 point favorite. Ohio State. That's going on ESPN December 31st at 7:30. So Cotton Bowl, what do you think?
Give me Miami.
Why?
I just think that I like their defense a lot. Granted, Ohio State's defense is humming. I've never been a big believer in Ohio State throughout this whole year.
No.
I kind of think they're a little bit of frauds, but I think low key what it is just they're just boring. Like that's what it is about it. Like, yeah, if they win, okay, you're back to back champs. Like, there's nothing really exciting about this. Your quarterback, it's just kind of like they're supposed to win kind of mentality. I like Miami to keep it a little bit more feisty. I like Carson Beck a lot, especially even as a prospect. I know this last game, them winning over there at Texas A&M was a big deal. Like, playing in College Station is not fun.
Well, Johnny Manziel didn't show up, so the air was kind of out of the tires. But
well, some may say that's just battered Aggie syndrome. So, but I like Miami's trenches a lot. I know Ohio State's going to give them fits big time, especially defensively, and the fact that they have like Matt Patricia as their defensive coordinator?
Matt Patricia, defensive coordinator.
Yeah, he's been absolutely killing it over there. That dude's coaching like he wants to get an NFL job, which he shouldn't. But I think that I like Miami just because I just like they're just a team I'm going to be rooting for in this one. More than likely Ohio State's probably going to win this game. It's going to be boring.
Going in chronological order, your Texas Tech Red Raiders are playing in the Orange Bowl against number 5 Oregon. Oregon is 2.5 point favorites.
I think this is going to be a really exciting game. I think defensively, both teams are actually kind of tough like that. I think the sideline to sideline speed, especially for the linebacker core for Texas Tech, matches up pretty well with Oregon's offense. Oregon also doesn't have a really good rushing game neither like that. So I think like maybe they're going to be out for the RPOs, especially their tight end that they have out there in Oregon's going to be a stud. Dante Morris playing like the number 1 overall pick so far in this college football playoffs. He's been a stud, but at the same time, they weren't truly tested on their first game, and so it could be a little bit of a shell shock. It's, playing these JMUs and Tulanes in the first game of a college football playoff is kind of like playing like these, these really bad, like, how like Alabama used to play like Georgia Southern or something like that, first game of the year. And then all of a sudden it's like, then they play LSU next week. It's such a culture shock of the amount of level of talent that it's going to be. Like, there are going to be NFL guys. There's going to be like guys who can literally play at Oregon as well too, like true like all conference players, all American players on the other side of the ball. They're my team this year. I'm sticking to them. Give me Tech, Reckham Tech against Oregon this game.
Number 1 Indiana hosting number 9 Alabama at the Rose Bowl, presented by Prudential. Indiana University -7.
Really? They give him a touchdown? Woo. Kurt Signetti, also a former Alabama coach as well, too. I think Sig is going to get these boys humming and ready to go. I've not been that big of a Frank DeBoer kind of guy after the post Nick Saban thing. I also thought that was like a weird hire for them as well, too. I didn't really see it like that. I think Signetti is having these boys be fired up. I think he gives bulletin board material like per second. And I think this Indiana team is super tough. They handled Ohio State exceptionally well. I think Alabama is going to be easy for them, but I think Alabama's keeping it close. Alabama's riding the hot wave against that Oklahoma team. So I think they're probably going to win by like 6 points.
And finally, in the All-State Sugar Bowl, number 3 Georgia versus number 6 Ole Miss. UGA -6.5.
This is a rematch. UGA beat Ole Miss this year. Other factors that Chambliss is looking for his to add an extra eligibility because supposedly he wants to go to LSU to join Lane Kiffin out there. Georgia doesn't. This is just typical standard programming right here. Give me Georgia, and I think they're probably going to win like 10. I think this is the Cinderella story for Ole Miss where it comes to an end. I do like them. I just liked them a whole lot better when Lane Kiffin was there. I just think that first game, because it was Tulane, because of all the drama and all that other stuff, like, yeah, they're going to look really good to a team that their head coach said, you guys are not good enough to go where I go, and kind of proving that point. I'm going to keep saying that until they realize he's a piece of shit. But I like Kirby Smart, just literally straight up a dog. That dude would chew off somebody's ear off for a win. And I think when it comes to playoff time, Gunnar Stockton has been absolutely phenomenal. He was a big key component for why they beat Ole Miss the first time around. And I'm going to go with Georgia on this one. I think they're going to win by 10.
And just for the sake of it, after one round going into round 2, who's your champion? Who do you think is going to go all the way?
I want Texas Tech so bad. I do.
All right, so that's with your heart. Who's with your brain? Who's with your gut?
It's going to be boring. I think it's probably going to be Ohio State.
Even though you picked them to lose against Miami.
I want them to lose to Miami. I think they're going to win. I like Miami a little bit. Like, I think that's funner, but it's. I think we kind of already saw the national title matchup in Ohio State and Indiana. I think that's like the closest, but like I said, this season I just think it's so many teams close to like being decent teams. Like the best team this year was probably like the 6th ranked team, not even like the 8th ranked team last year in playoffs. Like, I think the amount of drop off that we're having in talent this year is, we're just going to look back at this and be like, oh, this is probably one of the worst national championship winners of all time. And I think that, like, to me, doesn't surprise. Like, Kaleb, you could tell me, I think the only team that would surprise me if they would won a national championship is Miami.
The only team that would shock me is Ole Miss. I think Miami can hang. I don't think Ole Miss is going to hang with Georgia for a second.
No, see, like, I just think that they either ride. If they had Lane Kiffin, it'd be a different story, I think.
Yeah.
But
that's an emotional, like, roller coaster coming to a crash end.
Oh, yeah. They finally had weeks to sit on this, and they're like, oh, now we don't have any more bulletin board material, and half this team kind of wants to go play for LSU. So, but like I said, like, even you as like somebody who's gotten into college football this season, like, outside of Ole Miss, you could see any of these teams winning a national championship, right? Like, it wouldn't surprise you. Like, so to me, it's just standard operation procedure. Okay, Georgia wins another natty. Cool. Alabama wins another natty. Cool. Ohio State wins back-to-back. Cool.
Indiana, cool. Oregon, nice. It's been a while.
Indiana, because you know what the sad part is for Indiana? Their biggest thing about them winning a national championship is going to be, this is the worst playoff teams ever, and that's why Indiana won a natty. Like, it was the worst Heisman winner in a very long time. The Heisman race was also unbelievably bad this year. And then you also have Indiana, where it's just like, bro, how bad was college football that Indiana won a playoffs? Like, or they won the national championship. I mean, like, as much as I like Texas Tech, like, this Texas Tech team couldn't even hang with like the top 7 teams of last year either. Like, it's just such a run of the mill. Like, I think the only time, like, if Oregon wins, it's like finally Oregon wins a national championship. Like, cool. Texas Tech wins. NIL proves that it works. That means back-to-back years that the team that spend the most amount of NIL wins the national championship. So that means everybody's going to spend money in the NIL. If Georgia wins, Kirby Smart wins another natty, he's going to go down as he's just fighting against Nick Saban as the greatest college football coach of all time. If Franklin DeBoer wins, good for Alabama. That's so boring. If Kurt Signetti wins, what is it going to take for him to leave to do a different program? And That's pretty much about it. Like I just said, I think it's kind of like a little bit of a boring, like if you're not true, like an alumni from those schools, I just think it's going to be a very boring college football playoff season this year. So, and even when the other teams, when Texas A&M was there, that's boring. Like they weren't all that. If UT somehow got in, boring. Like there was no real true. I think the only true headline that would have been fun is if Lane Kiffin stayed at Ole Miss. I think that was the funnest thing that was going to happen this playoffs.
Or not even stay, just let him freaking coach the playoffs.
Yes, man. Like that would have been the funnest thing ever.
What does like Ole Miss have to lose? Like
he would have been your greatest coach of all time. He already is. The sad part, he's literally Ole Miss's greatest head coach of all time already. And the most success they have ever seen in an era, ever in that school's history, who, mind you, is like old as dirt. So, like, they have plenty of years to relatively be relevant. And yet, they kicked the dude out. And if he would have stayed, if Lane Kiffin would have won a national championship, that would have been absolute chaos. Hey, I won a natty. By the way, half of y'all are coming with me to LSU. F Ole Miss. Like, that would have been fun. You know? But at the end of the day, now we're just going to get home. Kirby Smart wins another national championship, Caleb. Wow.
At least I was right.
Like, you know, the U is back. Okay, they were kind of back at the beginning of the year. Some of us ranked them as like the second best team in the nation. Oh, Indiana won. Cool. Like, boring. So.
All right. Well, that'll do it. Anything to say to the fine people at home before we shut it off?
Thank you so much for hanging with us and all that stuff, and always following us, liking and commenting and subscribing. We truly, really appreciate all y'all.
Yeah. We'll see you next week.